Namaskaram. Shri Mahaganapatiye Namaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. In today's humble samarpanam on Mayilpeeli, we shall chant, learn and understand the slokas of Narayaneeyam Dasakam 65. Let us first chant the sloka and then understand the meaning. Dasakam 65 talks about the Raasakreeda of the gopis with Krishna. Earlier, when the gopis, who due to their utmost love and devotion to Krishna, carry out a month-long vow to goddess Parvati in the form of Kartyayani Vrat, and they pray to the goddess to bless them so that they attain Krishna as their consort. At the end of this Vrat, Krishna promises the gopis that their wish will be fulfilled on one moonlit night on the river banks of Yamuna. As promised, Lord Krishna gets prepared for a play of love with the gopis. This and the next 5 dashakams deal with this play of love called Raasakreeda. Lord Krishna starts it all by playing his flute. Those lovelorn maidens come running, leaving their jobs as it is and without even bothering to spend time on dressing up. The love of gopis for Krishna is said to be the most supreme, and the block of 5 dashakams 65 to 69 may be said to represent the sublimation of the love devotion that the gopis, the individual souls or jivatmas, have for the Lord Supreme, Paramatma or the cosmic soul, and is the culmination of the innumerable leelas, sportive exploits of the Lord. In these 5 dashakams, Bhattadri has set out a concisive version of the contents of chapters 29 to 33 of Canto 10 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. These range over the entire gamut of emotional experience, from the initiation of the process merger of the individual soul with the cosmic soul by the magnetic pull exercised by the mesmerizing melodies flowing from Krishna's flute, through the assembling of the gopis, abandoning all their worldly preoccupations, their yearning for the Lord's love and union with Him, the Lord's testing of the depth and sincerity of their love by means such as teasing them with apparent partiality to some and disregard for others, scolding them for their infidelity to their temporal duties towards husband, children, etc., vanishing from their midst, causing them to frantically wander hither and thither in search of Him, and chastening them of their ego as favorites of the Lord, to their final total surrender to the Supreme Brahman and their dissolution therein during the performance of the unique Raasakreeda or Raasakreeda dance, when time itself stands still, though at times couched in the language of eroticism. This is a superficial impression which wears off when the deep inner meaning of the scenes and actions depicted is understood, and their metaphysical significance as the ultimate dissolution of the individual souls into the cosmic Supreme Purusha is comprehended. Dashakam 65, Sloka 1. Gopi janaya katitam niyamavasane Marotsavam dvamata sadayitum pravrittaha Sandrena chandramahasa shishiri krutashe Prapurayo muralikam yamuna vanante. In order to redeem the word given to the gopis at the conclusion of their austerities and vow, known as Kartyayani Vrat, which is explained in Dashakam 60, O Lord, you decided to perform the festival to the god of love, Manmata, on a bright, cool, moonlit night of the Sharat season in the wooded precincts of the river Yamuna, and initiated the same by playing on your flute in a charmingly resounding manner, says Bhattadri. As promised to the gopis, soon after their month-long Kartyayani Puja, which they conducted on the banks of river Yamuna, Krishna decides to fulfill the wish of gopis and starts playing melodiously on his flute on a beautiful Sharat Purnima new moon night on the river banks of Yamuna. Here we understand that the bright light of the full moon filled all the directions with cool breeze from the forests on the banks of river Yamuna. Dashakam 65, Sloka 2. Sammorchanabiruditaswaramandalabihi sammorchayantamakhilam bhuvanantaralam Twadvenunadamupakarnya vibhotarunyah tattadrisham kamapi chitta vimohamapuhu. O Lord, the enchanting notes emerging from your flute with their ascending and descending cadences hypnotize the entire world and the gopis. On hearing these, they were transported into an indescribable trance and attained an unparalleled and incomparable captivating state of their mind states Bhattadri. Dashakam 65, Sloka 3. Tageha kritya niratastanaya prasaktaha kantopasevana paraja saroruhakshyah sarvam visrujya muraliravamohitaste kantaradeshamayi kantatano sametaha. O enchanting one, maddened by the irresistible music, these lotus-eyed maidens who were engaged in their household occupations such as tending their children or serving their husbands forsook everything and rushed out to the forest. On hearing the beautiful enchanting melody from the flute of Krishna, we understand here that all the gopis leave whatever work they were doing and rush towards the forest following the music from Krishna's flute. Dashakam 65, Sloka 4. Kashit nijanga paribhushana madadanaha venu pranadamupakarnya kritarthabhushaha tvamagata tataiva vibhushitabhyaha ta eva samruruchire tavalochanaya. Bhattadri says, hearing the melodies flowing from your flute, O Lord, some of them who were in the process of adorning themselves rushed out in a half-adorned state, which is more pleasing to you than their fully adorned forms. Some of the damsels were dressing up and adorning their bodies with jewels. As they heard Krishna's flute, they just left it halfway, and some of them just had one earring on, and they had necklaces which were not hooked fully, and bangles on one hand, and half-braided hair when they came rushing to see Krishna. Dashakam 65, Sloka 5. Haram nitamba bhuvika chanadarayanti kanchim chakanta bhuvideva samagata tvam hari tvamatma jaganasya mukundha tubhyam Vyaktam babasha iva mugdha mukhi visheshat. O Lord, one woman in her haste came to you wearing a necklace on her hips and the waistband in the neck area. O Mukund, it was as if the charming faced one clearly indicated to you in particular the attractiveness of her own hips. The gopis were in a trance, attracted completely to the charm of Krishna and the melodies coming from his flute. Dashakam 65, Sloka 6. Kachit kuche punarasajjita kanchulika vyamohata paravadu biralakshyamana tvamayayau nirupama pranayati bharam rajabhisheka vidaye kalashidhareva. O Lord, another woman, in her excitement, forgetting to cover her breasts with any garment but not noticed by the other women who were equally excited, approached you as though she was bringing 2 pitchers of water in the form of her breast to bathe you for your coronation as the king of the kingdom of her intense, unmatched love, says Bhattadri. All the gopis who were in a trance were just rushing towards Krishna without worrying about in what state they were in, and only the music of Krishna's flute filled in their hearts and the enchanting form of Krishna filling their eyes rushed towards where they could find him. Dashakam 65, Sloka 7. काचित् गृहात् किल निरेतुमपारयन्त्यः त्वामेव देव हृदये सुदृढं विभाव्य देहं विदूय परचित् सुखरूपमेकं त्वामाविशन् परमिमाननुधन्यधन्याः. Some others, O Lord, being unable for whatever reason to leave their houses, meditated on you with intense devotion and concentration, and abandoning their physical bodies, it is said, became one with you, the supreme consciousness, bliss absolute. They are indeed the most blessed among the blessed, says Bhattadri. Dasakam 65, Sloka 8. Jaratmanana paramatmadaya smarantyo naryo gataha paramahamsa gatim kshanena tam tvam prakasha paramatmatanum katanchit chitte vahannamritamashramam mashnuyam. O Lord, these simple women attain the state of oneness with you in an instant, despite their visualizing you as a paramour and not the supreme Brahman. Fixing their mind constantly on your effulgent form with firmness and devotion, one way or the other, may I also attain liberation without effort, prays Bhattadri. Bhattadri here prays that his mind also should constantly be fixed on the effulgent form and of the Lord, one way or the other, so that he attains liberation like the gopis without any effort, is what we understand here. Dasakam 65, Sloka 9. Abhyagatabirabhito vrajasundaribihi mugdasmitadravadana karunavaloki Nisseemakanti jaladistvamavekshymano Vishvaikahridya harame pavanesha roghan. O Lord, those lovely maidens who were gazing steadily at you were bathed by your compassionate glance from your face lit up by the enchanting smile. O soul charmer of the universe, O Lord of Guruvayur, may you eradicate all my maladies, prays Bhattadri. Here we understand that the beautiful women of Raja who had come and gathered all around Krishna were looking at his captivating smile lighting up his face, glancing with compassion, and Krishna is like an unbound ocean of splendor. Hare Krishna. Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste Shri Haraye Namaha Shri Mahaperiyava Sharanam.